Our 2 cents.
With Oscar.
I like to say happy 5th of July. It is Monday, the 5th of July, and today is National Day. What national day do we have today? This is what I don't understand. How many national days do we need every single day of the year? How many? Do we need one? Do we need two? Or do we need three in a day? I gotta say, for today, July 5th, and today's episode 166, thank you to all of you that have been downloading. Now, if I put all the downloads in a room, and if I put all my downloads in a room, all the people that have downloaded me from every single part of the world that have downloaded me, I would have a pretty room. Not a pretty room, but it could be a pretty room. We could make it a pretty room. Jesus Christ, that sucks. We don't have to make it a pretty room. We can make it a room that's pretty big, which is different. But we're not making a pretty room. At least not for here. This is good enough for now. So, National Day, back to the National Day. How many national days do we need? Do we need one? Do we need two? Or do we need 3, 4, 5, or 6? I don't know. But for today, we have 3 things that today is a national day of. But before we get into that, I'd like to say happy belated 4th of July. Happy Genocide Day, as a matter of fact. Is that what we're going to call it? A Genocide Day? I don't know. Maybe. I was saying last week that I have a lot of love for this country, but I said it with Nerdle Sorry or Rex. I told him, I wonder if this country could have gotten to where it's now without all that genocide they committed. It's pretty interesting to think that maybe they could have. Eventually I think they would have. But innovation comes with a price. And that's what I'm saying, that I enjoy that innovation makes a lot of things happen. But the innovation that this country caused, for the lucky few that we are in here, that we've managed slither in through the cracks, or the ones that are even more luckier than myself, the ones that were born here, we have such an advantage. But my question is, I wonder if the advantage would have been similar if no genocide was committed. I wonder. It is. Who was it? It was one of the senators that I agree a lot with him, that he said that we should move on and recognize what we've done and reparations or whatever it's needed. But see, who are you going to give reparations to? Damn. We need to repair that. That's what needs to be repaired as of this moment. But we're going to jump back to where we were talking about a second ago, which was how do you pay reparations? I know that there's communities that have been living in poverty since those times. And those families have not gotten out of there. Are they the ones we should be paying reparations to? I wonder. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is I wonder if that's how all the reparations would have to be paid, or to every single person that has descendants. And who do we pay reparations to? Do we only pay to all the genocide that this country committed here in this country? Or are we going to go down south and pay for those reparations as well? Or who gives a shit about those? Either or. It's even fucked up to think about it, because, see, in part of me is like, yes, those people need to be paid reparations. But another part of me says, not everyone starts at the same starting line. Not everybody does. But it is your fault, especially if you are in this country. It is your fault if you don't make anything happen with your life. There's that too. It is your fault if you stay living where you and your family and your generation have lived for centuries. It is your fault if you don't change the way you think. It is your fault if you don't progress, if you don't get better at anything. It is your fault. It is nobody else's fault but yours. Yours? I can't even talk. Yours. But I do understand, like I said, not everyone starts at the same starting line. Most of us, we start even under the dirt. But the point is to start. Once you start doing something, everything else falls into place. And before we get into that, everything falling into place, I'd like to say Happy National Apple Turnover Day. What does that mean? I don't know, but it's Happy National Apple Turnover Day. Are we talking about turning over your Apple phone or turning over an apple after you take a bite out of it? I don't know. Could be. Either or, right? And also, it is the middle of the summer, right? So Happy National Bikini Day. Which, at the temperatures that most of us are sizzling in the West Coast, well, you know what? I'm not going to include California. Today because today the weather is not so bad. It was pretty pleasant today. It's not as bad as other days. Other days it has been ridiculously hot. But maybe it's because I was inside the whole day. I was being the most lazy I could be. National Bikini Day. That's what we were talking about. It's perfect. Perfect timing. Post a picture, tag it, National Bikini Day, and, don't tag me on it. I don't want to see your bikinis. Don't tag me at all on that shit. I'm going to get in trouble with my wife. Don't do that. And the next one is Happy National Graham Cracker Day. Graham cracker? Who enjoys a Graham cracker with drum? That was good. That was actually a pretty good guess. I guessed that one, and it was just on the dot. What I'm saying is, it's a pretty pleasant day. It's not over 100, which it sucks being at the beach, but the highest today, we're looking at a 96. I don't know how tomorrow's going to look, but perfect beach weather if you ask me. Not for me. I don't enjoy the beach. I hate sand in my ass crack. I hate it. There's nothing worse than having sand in your ass crack. That's the main reason why I avoid the beach. Now, I've recently said I went to the beach. Yes, I know. But the only reason you will catch me at the beach is just to take my kids. But if it was my choice, I'm not going to the beach. Fuck all that. I hate sand. Sand gets everywhere. Gets in your ass crack, your balls, everywhere. I don't need that kind of rashes in my life. That's too much. And besides, I hate the salty water. Anyways, back into falling into place. So what I was saying is that it is your fault. Let me back up into that. I was taught before I veered into National Apple Bikini Graham Cracker Day. I was talking about that it is your fault if you stay where you're at. I hate giving advice. I hate even talking about advice. But here we are. I'm going to talk about what worked out for me and what hasn't. And we're going to get into some subjects that are pretty good. Pretty good. The most notable that happened this last weekend, and I'm pretty sure all of you are very aware of, going back, I jumped into something else now. But let me back up. It is your fault if you don't start something with your life. Or if you don't start a project, you don't start a business, you don't start something that will help you progress. It is your fault. Now, everybody that lives in this country has the same opportunities. Yes, we all do. A great majority of us have access to the internet from your home, from your phone. You can make it happen. You can do e-commerce. There's various things that you could do that once you figure it out, they appear. I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, but they appear to be very successful. There's a lot of kids, and I say kids because I'm an old fuck now. I'm a 30-year-old fuck. And I say kids because they are kids to me. Their frontal cortex is not even done. Is that the right word? Frontal cortex? I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyways, let's go back to where we were heading. I said 4th of July, happy belated 4th of July. That was yesterday, not today at all whatsoever. Nuh-uh. So what's been happening? The Gulf of Mexico was on fire. How? How, Sway? How? Explain that to me. That's very hard for me to understand. That's very hard for me to comprehend. How is it possible that the middle of the ocean caught fire? Don't we use water to turn off fires? So why the fuck do we need to pour water on the fucking fire that's in the water? Wouldn't the water turn off the fucking fire by itself? That's not the main question. So apparently, it was a gas line, a gas pipe. For that fire to start like that and to go all the way up from the bottom of the ocean where it was supposedly started, it makes no sense to me. The only thing that makes sense to me is it doesn't even make sense. The only question I have on the subject is, how much pressure is in those pipes? Nobody's asking that. How much pressure? Is anybody asking that? Well, I don't know. But that being said, how much pressure is it even from a pipeline? Or did they just fucking burst something and just caught it on fire? And what is that going to do to the fish? What is that going to do to the fish in the region? What will it do? No one knows. I guess we won't find out until a couple of days when they find out, oh yeah, it was their fault. So no worries. So apparently Pemex is only going to get a slap on the wrist. Who cares? They don't pay taxes anyway. So what the fuck can they tell them, right? Nothing. All they got to do is, hey, politician, here you go. You didn't see nothing. You don't know nothing. That's how they handle their business. Trust me. I know this. I can give you the facts. No, I can't. I'm just kidding. So Again, how does a fire happen in the middle of the ocean? There has to be an explosion for a source of ignition. Why did that pipe burst? Who and with what did they start it? Are we going to ask those questions? Is anyone going to ask those? I understand that it was, air quotes, an accident. Pour a little seltzer. Drink up. Was that good? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what that will do, but I'm pretty sure it will create some havoc on that habitat in that region. It has to do something. Look at how big that fire was, and that fire apparently went more than a few hours. Did it make the water around boil? There's so many questions that need to be asked, and most people are saying it's aliens. You know why? Because I love this. I love it. It's my favorite subject to talk about. There is an episode of South Park where apparently Chulum, they call it, I guess, Tulum or Chulum, I don't know, something like that. That it's something from another dimension. And what's weird about it is that episode stages that fire and that creature from another dimension coming out of that fire. It's staged right next to that the oil drilling place, whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know. People say people are being woke. A lot of people say that. And I believe it. A lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are seeing it. A lot of people are seeing things that they're not there. And even I'm seeing things that they're not there. And you know what? It's very confusing because there's times where I'm like, what the fuck is real now? So many things happening. And the more I pay attention, the more things happen. I wish I had a magic wand just to be like, what is it? Tell me all the secrets. And what would be cool? What would be cool first of all is that my nose stops itching. Because it's itching right now. But Jesus Christ. Excuse me. You know what would be cool? If I had the magic wand and I could spill your secrets and then I could tell everybody the secrets. I would definitely tell everybody the secrets. I cannot keep a secret at all. Speaking of secrets, how is it? Oh my God, what the hell? How is it possible that okay, so the conspiracy is that most people happen to think that the government is very, very well organized. That they set these things up and then they set a motion and then I don't know and then things happen and then whatever they set it up and then it makes something else happen and motions and emotions and motion of the ocean. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But on that subject, what I think is I just don't think governments are really that organized to set shit up. But then, they happened to capture a billionaire, millionaire. I don't know what the fuck Epstein was. They happened to capture a millionaire that had an island with a bunch of kids. Horrible. So there's that. That used to be a conspiracy. Therefore, I'm saying I don't know what's true or what's not. How should we figure out? Does anybody out there know how you figure out what's true and what's not? I love that the most people think, that they've discovered documents from the government. Hello? The government's the one writing those documents. They're only going to put in those papers what they want it to be written. They're not going to put everything there. And even if you think you found something, at the end of the day, what can we do? How do we do it? No one knows. Everybody gets all rattled up when they find something out. But nobody has answers. I saw somebody posted a TikTok. They were saying that most people say that the human race are really smart just because of what a certain limited amount of humans can do. I don't know what it takes to make a roadcaster. I don't know what it takes to make a laptop. I don't know what it takes to make a camera. I don't even know what it takes to make a phone. Those people that have innovated in that are the ones carrying us all. We need to learn how to make our own iPhone. We need to learn how to make our own computer. We need to learn how to make our own video cameras. We need to learn how to make our own roadcasters. So that we don't leave all these people with the responsibility of carrying innovation and making things happen. And when they're making things happen, most of us get mad. Oh, they're controlling us. They're telling us what to do. They're telling us what to watch. Well, bitch, turn the TV off. Nobody's got a gun in your head telling you to watch this program. This nonsense of predictive programming is gotten me to here. And that's why I have gotten to this subject right now. And I'm glad I brought it up because I forgot about it. And I'm glad I'm bringing it up now. I don't think if there was a plan behind all the shit that's happening, if there's a plan behind all that, I don't think they're going to come tell you, hey, we're planning on doing this to you guys, or we're planning on showing you this to you guys. I don't think they are. And most of you that talk about the predictive programming, I just think you guys are all full of shit and scared of life. And I'm full of shit and I'm scared of life as well. Like I said, I'm glad I brought this up because I remembered something. Conspiracies. I love them. I enjoy them. I love talking about them. Even though I have no facts about anything. Isn't that what a conspiracy theorist is? Do I have to have facts in order to be a conspiracy theorist? Should I call this the R2 conspiracy? Ooh. R2 with Oscar.com. I mean. I said it in Spanish. Anyways. I'm glad I brought the conspiracy thing up because I am going to get into the other things because this is juicy, what I found out. This is juicy. I got a business idea, just in case anybody out there needs a business idea. And also, I got more on the PPP loans. Remember Freight America? Yeah, they left to Mexico and they're not going to pay taxes on that money. They left with the fucking, I don't even know how many billions of dollars. I said it, right? But I forgot. Anyways. But I'm glad I brought up the conspiracy. But we'll get into that in a bit. Now that I remember this thing, I'm going to say it. So the ice wall. The Antarctic and the Arctic. So apparently the conspiracy behind that is that there's an ice wall where nobody can get passed by and you're not allowed to fly over it. But they do have a place where they have all the flags, right? Where I guess they got a treaty up there that nobody's going to commit genocide over there and take it like they did in the Americas, right? They're not going to do that to the Arctic. Why? Because it is in their best interest for everybody to have a common place, which is that At least we found a common place. We have yet to find a common language between all of us so we can all understand each other. Is that true? But isn't it the universal language English? Is it English the universal language? Or is it Spanish? Because anywhere in the world you go, you can find somebody that speaks English. So therefore, that should be the universal language. And we should use the metric system like we do here in America. Anyways, back up to the ice swamp. I came across a gentleman. His TikTok is intriguing. I enjoy all I enjoy all types of content, especially places I cannot get to. People who live in places where I can't get to, those people interest me a lot. So I came across a gentleman that works in the Antarctic or the Arctic. One of those two. One of the poles. He works at one of the poles. I had came across another individual, another lady actually, and another girl. I don't know. Anyways, I came across somebody else, and I messaged him, and I never got a reply from them. And you know, I was sad. I was like, I guess I'll never find anybody else and is willing to talk to me. But I did. I found somebody else. I'm not gonna say his name or his TikTok or anything at all because I don't have it all written down on me. Because if I would have wrote it down, I would have said it. But simple as that. I'm not gonna say it because I don't have it written down. The gentleman messaged back to me. He's like, "Hey, I like what you do. It's awesome, you know. But I have to decline because whom I work for does not allow me to do podcasts or interviews with any kind of sort. Mind you, as you all know, this podcast is not about interviews. That's not what we do here. I'm not about interview somebody. All I want to know about somebody's content creation I enjoy is how, why, and where, and if you make money off it, how. Right? That's what I want to know. I want to know about them. I want to know about you, and you know about what you do, how you got started, and all that juicy facts. You know, just interesting. A conversation is all I wanted. I wasn't talking about interview or anything at all. And that's what we do here. And how do we explain it to him? Well, I wasn't gonna, because you know, if somebody already tells you no, it's already a no. There's no way in hell you're gonna make somebody change their mind after they have already given you an answer. And I'm not about that either. I'm not about to chase anybody to do this with me. Hence why Mike's not with me no more. Love the dude, but it's just, you know, I've talked to him, see if he wants to come back so he can give his side of why we stopped recording. But we'll see if he wants to eventually. I think he's still mad at me for kicking him off, but it doesn't matter. Life goes on. Projects move on. Business is business. Friendship is friendship. And whatever the case may be, I don't know what to say. But then, so going back to the gentleman that said no because his company doesn't let him do interviews. I'm not having no interviews. We're having a conversation. It's just a friendly conversation. You ever talk to a friend? You talk to your friends, right? So what's the difference? I mean, I'm trying to make you my friend. That's all I'm trying to do. So it goes back to the conspiracy. Why don't you want me to talk to them? What are you hiding? I'm not going to ask him, tell me the company secrets. I know companies meet street people. I know companies are all in it for the money. I know companies don't give a fuck about anybody. There's nothing else I need to know about your company, bro. All I want to know is you. How you got into that job. That's all I'm asking. But apparently, they don't want them to talk about the conspiracies, you know. I was going to ask, is there an ice wall? For real. Tell me if there's an ice wall. I would have asked. I would have had that information. That being said, I've heard on a podcast that there's a dude that walked it across during Christmas season. There's that. So what's true? I guess we'll never know unless, well, hold on. Just hold on right there. There's one way to know. There's going to be one way. There's going to be one way. And all of you are asking this motherfucker to stay out there. And you guys don't want him to come back and tell us what the fuck he saw. Jesus Christ. Let Jeff Bezos come back to Earth. Don't sign no fucking petition to give the dude outside, to keep the dude outside. Whoa. No petition needs to be signed for that. That's it. It's done. Let him come back. We need to know the facts. We need to know the Earth is flat. That's it. I'd like to put myself in a situation where when those flights are available, I can go over there and check. I'll come back and tell you guys. I don't know if any of you know Eddie Bravo. Well, because another conspiracy theorist. He believes the earth is flat. He believes about the reptilians. He believes all this nonsense. I shouldn't even call it nonsense. I should call it conspiracies. But that's not who I wanted to say. Alex Jones. No, was it? I don't know. But it was on the podcast. The podcast, I forgot whose podcast, but the podcaster asked, if I pay for your trip to go out in space to look and tell us if it's flat or not, would you do it? Well, there's your answer. The person wouldn't do it. They said they wouldn't do it. Pussy. That's what you are, sir. Because you believe this shit and say that this is not true and is that, but you have an offered to you to prove you wrong or right, whatever the case may be, and you did not take it. So all I'm saying is, you, sir, whoever said that, are bullshit and scared of the truth. What do? How do we do it? I don't know. But like I said, I want to be in a position where I'm able to travel into space and come back and tell all of you fucks whether it's true or not. I wonder, is there an ice wall? Or I wonder if they'll make me think I went into outer space and they just have a room full of screens that look like windows and then they make me think I'm flying. That could be possible too, right? There's that. So again, what's true? We don't know. What we do know is about the PPP loans. We talked about it. I think it was Friday. Yes, we talked about it on Friday. I talked about it on Friday. About America's Freight, how they left with they I don't know. I lost it. This is my problem. I have notes everywhere of what I do, and yep. It was $110 million. America's Freight got $110 million of the PPP loan that they will never, ever pay back. They will never, ever pay taxes because they grabbed their money and left down south the border to give other people opportunities to make money. Which is great. It is. I'm not saying it's not. It is, however, pretty shitty for the people that stayed here and lost their jobs. Maybe we should all migrate over there to get that job back. I don't know. That's all I'm saying on that subject. But here's another number that I can't even comprehend it. I don't understand it. This number is just so big, I don't even know what the fuck it means. I'm going to go off my notes a little bit here, so bear with me. My notes are everywhere. This loan, it's so big. It's beyond my understanding of what that number means. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that understand perfectly well what that number means. I just know that this number is big and it's got a lot of zeros in it. So, without further ado, the Catholic Church received a PPP loan. Mm-hmm. Just a small amount. Just a small amount. Not that big. It's only $350 billion. $350 billion for the Catholic Church so that they can forgive all your sins. Now that we've donated that money, whoever gave him that money, it has had their sins forgiven. I'm pretty sure. Now that person's gonna go to heaven. No doubt about that. Because, Jesus Christ needs money for you to get into heaven. Of course. Of course. There's no way you're gonna get into heaven without any money. So $350 isn't it's fair. They call it fair. This is the problem I have with religion. Now, that money they're getting, they have not put any money into that pool of money to receive that money. A lot of the business that got the loan, yes, they put in some money because they pay taxes. But the Catholic Church does not pay a single motherfucking dollar on any money they fucking make. Why? Because God does not pay taxes. The all-knowing, powerful does not need to pay taxes. Did anybody hear what the Catholic Church, what was uncovered in some Catholic churches in Canada? It is why a lot of the Catholic churches in Canada have been burnt down. Oh, that's who was talking about reparations. Justin Trudeau. Yeah, the Canadian guy. He was talking about reparations. But that guy's weird. I don't even know anything about him. I shouldn't be saying he's weird because I don't know anything. Well, he was putting people in jail for going to church during the pandemic. So, I mean, he was right behind it. So, I'm glad he was putting those people away for being ridiculously and taking chances on that so-called our savior, religion. Fuck religion. Fuck the Catholic Church and fuck evangelicals. I said it. And somebody needed to say it. Those pieces of shit, they thrive when you are hurting because they come to you with the idea that only God can help you. God couldn't even help himself over the cross. You think he can help you now? He's not even here. It's been 2,000 years and he hasn't came back. What did is it Dan Carlin? What was one of his jokes? If God is real, strike me now. The show finished and nobody was striked. That's all I'm saying. But apparently, on the Canadian Catholic Church, they found over 750 burial grounds of Native children. That shit just baffles me. And it's annoying because I remember when my sister, I didn't do this because I started 6th grade in this country, so sixth grade. I just started 6th grade in this country, so I didn't go through that. But I remember when my sister was learning about the missions, they were saying that this place is where they'd help the natives and all this bullshit and all that bullshit. But apparently they didn't count with, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard this saying, with the saying the truth always comes to light. People back then didn't know that. They didn't. They thought everything was covered. And like I said, I talked to Rhinosaurus Rex, is it something? Yeah, along those lines. when I talked to him, he explained to me how they got rid of history and how they rewrote history. Winner gets to write history, not the loser. The loser doesn't get any of that. And I'm pretty sure the Murray Roots were also committed genocide against it. But this wasn't the English that did that. This were the motherfucking Spaniards. How do we treat those people? Those people still exist, and those people still treat others the same way. That's why I stopped watching soccer from Spain. No, I didn't stop watching soccer because of that. I stopped watching soccer because I got into wrestling, and then I got into drinking, and then I didn't want to run. And then I got fat. Really fat. I was 250 pounds. And I don't even know how I got into this. But now, right now I'm about 210-ish or so-ish, which is pretty good. We just got to build more muscle. We got to get bigger guns. So go back to the $350 billion untaxed money use in the burial grounds, right? So, about the money. So how do I put it? I don't even know what words to use. I don't understand how it's possible for them to get this money right in the middle of when they're being, a lot of the priests, the Catholic priests are being prosecuted, a lot of the people from the church. And then in LA, you got that nun that she was, what's the word, embezzling? Is that the right word? She was prosecuted for embezzling money from the church. She was in Vegas partying her ass off. She was a gambler. She spent, I don't even know how many billions of dollars. So those $350 billion make up for that couple of billions or millions that nun lost in Vegas from the church. So, tit for tat, I guess. I don't even know what that means, but I wanted to say it. So that money is also being used to pay lawyers that represent priests that are being prosecuted in raped child allegations. That's not the only thing that they're using it for. They're also using it to settle debts of many, many other cases that have already gone through court. Who do we complain to this about? Going back to what I was saying earlier, that most people think that they're woke. They say they're woke, but nothing's going to happen. And if it does happen, we probably won't be alive to see it happen. I just don't see all these people in power caring enough for all the complaints that people have throughout that has happened in history. And as harsh as it is to say, I don't think they're going to do anything about it because I really don't think they give a shit about it. To them, is like I said last week, to them is all about the profit. Does it make profit? Good. Move on. Let's do it. It doesn't make profit? Get it the fuck out of here. We don't need that shit. Let's find something that will make us some profit. I think that's the mindset they have. So no matter what we complain about, but you know what? The good thing about the most people complaining about it is that, like I said, it'll get done, but within due time. Most of the people in power today, they're old fucks that are putting their young, dumb fucking kids that have their same fucking ideas. There is some kids that like that like different things than what they've been taught. Yes, there's those. And hopefully the majority is those than the other majority I'm talking about, where they do what the fuck they want. It's confusing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what anybody could do. I mean, Look, they're not even hiding it now. They're not even hiding shit no more. They got rid of 2 people in front of our eyes. What anybody did? Ain't nobody gonna do shit. I've seen. Look, I got a DUI, right? Back in 2011. My court case was within 2 months, actually. Let me do the math. November, December, January. Yeah, it was 3 months. Yes, 3 months. So my court date was 3 months from the time I got arrested for the case, right? So 3 fucking months. That's kind of fast. I've heard of other cases where they go to court even faster. Why are we putting Ghislaine Maxwell's case all the way down to fucking July from fucking August of I don't know bumfuck what when? So what are we giving it time for? What are you giving it time for? Are you giving it time to get away? Are you giving it time to make up the lie? Are you giving her time? Are you giving her time to gather her story up? Or are you giving her time to get her money right so that they don't take a lot of money from her? Or are you giving her time to get rid of evidence? I think that's it. But I don't know. Again, most of these people are the elites, the ones that are in power. Oh, but the other one, Epstein is one of them, the ones that that they killed in front of us and nobody even said anything. Nobody's even done anything. I don't even think there's an investigation anymore. And if there is, why isn't it public? Why isn't it there being talked about more? And the recently one, John McAfee. They killed him. McAfee didn't kill himself. He tweeted that shit about if I kill myself, I didn't do it. Maybe that's why he tweeted it so that he could stir the pot. Maybe. You know, these people, they didn't get rich that fast. I mean, I don't know if they started rich. Did they? Did Epstein start rich? I don't know. Whatever. It's none of my business. But what I want to talk about is an idea for a business. But before the idea for the business, so where I was getting with the Catholics and the evangelicals, and I said, fuck them. Exactly what's happening with the Catholic Church right now, it's why I have a conflict of interest with the church. Now, if the church was really for the people like they say they are, like they want to help, they're for God, they're doing good deeds and being good and all that bullshit that they spew, if they were in it for that, they would have been like, dear government, we don't want this money because we think that it's better to give it to the needed. How about you give more than fucking $1,400? See, Biden promised $2,000, right? And when it came down to it, oh yeah, it was $2,000 with what Trump gave you guys. Think about that. That's how they started showing their true colors. They said, fuck you, you don't get that money, you only get this money, because that equals to the number I had promised you. And we let them get away with it. We all did it. We're all doing it to ourselves. Back to the business idea. I don't know how most of you eat, but if you eat anything like me, you must go to the bathroom at the same rate I go to the bathroom. And when I say I go to the bathroom a lot, it's just loads and loads and loads of feces. And I'm going to say it because what I'm saying is that I'm losing a lot of money every time I flush my shit down the toilet. I do. You wonder how? Well, let me tell you. selling your poop, you could make up to $13,000 apparently, allegedly. How, you wonder? There's something called fecal microbiota transplant. What does that mean? That means poop transplant. I want to get a little bit graphic with the description of how it works and what they do with it. It's horrible, yes, but it is for the colon. It's a treatment it's a treatment that's used for C. diff colitis. C. diff colitis is an infection. It's an infection of the colon. So with the shit that you sell them, they make a blend mix. They mix it up. They mix your shit with saline, which is saline. I don't know how the fuck you say that word, but it's salt water. So they mix the salt water with your shit in a blender. They blend the shit with the salt water. You don't want to watch the video. It's disgusting. Don't watch the video. Don't go looking for blending shit in salt water for C. diff colitis. Don't look that up because it's disgusting. So once it's blended, once they got the product blended with the water, they put it on a strainer and they filter it. So they get the thickest chunks that weren't able to get blended. That sounds disgusting. And they suck it up in a syringe. But it's for an infection that some people get in their colon, right? So basically, they grab the syringe with water, and the patient is knocked out when they do this, and they shove the shit up your ass to cure you from other infections. And that right there, it's great shit business. Think about it. You're throwing away $13,000 every time. Every year that you do not do this, this is $13,000 that you do not get in your pocket. Talk about it. What a great way of recycling your food. Isn't that what we do with recycling? With cans, plastic, aluminum. That's what we do, right? We collect them, sell them, get money back. What a great recycling idea I just gave everybody. That being said, it was great. I'd like to thank Jesus, our Lord and Savior, Thor, our God, Zeus, our other god, Athena, our goddesses. We got to thank them. And I also would like to thank every single one of you. I'd like to thank every single one of you for listening to our 2 cents. And that's about it for today, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for listening to this. And we now have a website. It is www.r2cents with just the Oscar.com. Deuces.